So today is May 9th, and I want to talk to you about how God has kept me, covered me, and waited on me um, when I didn't know Him, when I didn't acknowledge Him, and when I wasn't walking in relationship with Him. So, about God's favor. And you may notice instances in your own life when you reflect back on how God has shown mercy um, when you didn't deserve it, because I know I did. Um, but when I look back and how I've gotten jobs I didn't qualify for, at least two, I've only worked 10 years between the ages of 20 and 30. And that decade, half of those years, well, no, actually, three, four, five, 7 of those years was 3 jobs. And the other 3 years, I probably went through about 15 jobs. But I've gotten jobs I didn't qualify for. I've gotten jobs that required degrees that I still don't have. But God made a way. My resume didn't disqualify me the way maybe they weren't feeding them, through AI back then. It didn't exist. But yeah. But getting jobs I didn't qualify for, and I already told you about the going to the high school I went to, and I never had to worry about tuition because he made sure it got paid. Him having mercy on me, the amount of news stories and Facebook posts I've seen of young women and girls coming up missing, assaulted, being trafficked, or being murdered. And in each of those instances, I've been in a similar situation. And I didn't come out unscathed. I mean, I didn't end up in any of what I just described, but it took a huge emotional toll on me. But it was nothing that I couldn't recover from. And he kept me through all of it. He walked with me through all of it. He kept me safe. I was in places I had no business being, in cars I had no business being in, being surrounded by people I had no business knowing. And I survived through all of it, not not on my own accord, because I was naive. I was an absolute idiot. But God covered me through all of it. And His grace, God is so loving and so patient. I Now I know the sins of a child fall on the parent, so I'm just gonna go from the age of 18. Between the ages of 18 and 38, I completely ignored God. Now I knew I couldn't hide from Him, but that didn't stop me from trying. So I ignored Him. I didn't acknowledge Him, and even through all of that, He He kept me from destroying myself, because for a long time that's where my thoughts and actions were leading me to. Complete self destruction. He gave me protection that I never prayed for. And He waited, and He waited, and He waited. And when I finally came around to coming to Him, He welcomed me with open arms. He didn't shame me. He didn't like bully me. He didn't he didn't be like, I told you so, or if you had listened to me the first time. It was nothing like that. I've never felt anything but love from God, love and acceptance. Now, I'm not saying it's been easy. But the struggle wasn't with God, it was with me. It was with me letting go of the hurt, letting go of the pain, and learning to fully trust Him, learning to fully surrender to Him. And that was hard to do in the beginning because I kept putting Him in the category of everybody else that I knew and everybody else that I met. And He's not everybody else. He's like nothing else this world has ever seen or will ever see or experience. And knowing Him, just thinking back on all the poor choices that I made and all the situations that I've been in, and knowing that he's protected me through all of it, he's kept me through all of it, it just it fills me with an overwhelming sense of gratitude, especially when I first came to that realization, which was a while ago. But even now, when I still think about it, it amazes me that someone could love me that much. It's some parents out here that have given birth to children that they prayed for and or planned for, and they aren't capable of extending that type of love to their own children. And you know, we can't. I mean, we should strive to be Christ-like, but that level of perfection is not attainable for anybody, and that's okay. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't strive for it. But and like this is no shade to the Soft Life girls. I love their content. I enjoy it. I'm friends with several on this app. And but when I say God kept me, I'm talking about excuse me, I'm talking about a different type of kept. I'm not talking about being pampered. I'm talking about being protected. And God God sustained me when I didn't have resources. He protected me when there wasn't a man or a police officer in sight. He's covered me in ways that no other human is capable of covering someone. And that's just a type of love that I didn't even know existed. I've never seen it before. I've never witnessed it before until I began my walk with him and I opened myself up to receiving it. And once I received it, then I was able to look back and understand how he's been with me all my life, even when I was ignoring him, even when I wasn't acknowledging him, even when I wasn't giving him credit. And to know some of the thoughts that I've had and some of the things that I've said uh, about Jesus, like it's embarrassing. I don't even think. I mean, maybe I'll be able to say it one day. I really don't want to, but it's awful. But the fact that he forgave me for all of it, and it's like water under the bridge at this point. He's not bringing it back up to shame me or scold me. He just constantly reminds me that he loves me, and it's incredible. But I wanted to put this out here because, as I mentioned before, I was supposed to start doing these videos in January, but I didn't start until the end of April. So I want to do like a catch up videos. So I'm gonna do one for each month, January through April, just to show you um, from the beginning of my transformation journey, the beginning of my walk with God, what has been going on. Because I know I've referenced things that I haven't explained or talked about. So if there's anyone that's confused or curious, um, the videos will help you out.